had any pretensions to be considered batsmen. Ashe was the school wicket-keeper. Grant and Devenish were bowlers. Between them, the three could not be relied on for a dozen in a decent match. Mike watched Ashe shape with a sinking heart. The wicket-keeper looked like a man who feels that his hour has come. Mike could see him licking his lips. There was nervousness written all over him. He was not kept long in suspense. De Vries's first ball made a hideous wreck of his wicket. "Over," said the umpire. Mike felt that the school's one chance now lay in his keeping the bowling. But how was he to do this? It suddenly occurred to him that it was a delicate position that he was in. It was not often that he was troubled by an inconvenient modesty, but this happened now. Grant was a fellow he hardly knew, and a school prefect to boot. Could he go up to him and explain that he, Jackson, did not consider him competent to bat in this crisis? Would not this get about and be accounted to him for side? He had made 40, but even so. Fortunately, Grant solved the problem on his own account. He came up to Mike and spoke with an earnestness born of nerves. "For goodness' sake," he whispered, "collar the bowling all you know, or we're done. I shall get outed first ball." "All right," said Mike, and set his teeth. 40 to win. A large order, but it was going to be done. His whole existence seemed to concentrate itself on those 40 runs. The fast bowler, who was the last of several changes that had been tried at the other end, was well-meaning but erratic. The wicket was almost true again now, and it was possible to take liberties. Mike took them. A distant clapping from the pavilion, taken up a moment later all round the ground and echoed by the Ripton fieldsmen, announced that he had reached his 50. The last ball of the over he mishit. It rolled in the direction of third man. "Come on!" shouted Grant. Mike and the ball arrived at the opposite wicket almost simultaneously. Another fraction of a second and he would have been run out. The last balls of the next 2 overs provided repetitions of this performance. But each time luck was with him, and his bat was across the crease before the bails were off. The telegraph board showed 150. The next over was doubly sensational. The original medium-paced bowler had gone on again in place of the fast man, and for the first 5 balls he could not find his length. During those 5 balls Mike raised the score to 160. But the 6th was of a different kind. Faster than the rest and of a perfect length, it all but got through Mike's defence. As it was, he stopped it, but he did not score. The umpire called over, and there was Grant at the batting end, with de Vries smiling pleasantly as he walked back to begin his run with the comfortable reflection that at last he had got somebody except Mike to bowl at. That over was an experience Mike never forgot. Grant pursued the Fabian policy of keeping his bat almost immovable and trusting to luck. Point and the slips crowded round. Mid-off and mid-on moved halfway down the pitch. Grant looked embarrassed but determined. For 4 balls he baffled the attack, though once nearly caught by Point a yard from the wicket. The 5th curled round his bat and touched the off stump. A bail fell silently to the ground. Devenish came in to take the last ball of the over. It was an awe-inspiring moment. A great stillness was over all the ground. Mike's knees trembled. Devenish's face was a delicate grey. The only person unmoved seemed to be de Vries. His smile was even more amiable than usual as he began his run. The next moment the crisis was past. The ball hit the very centre of Devenish's bat and rolled back down the pitch. The school broke into one great howl of joy. There were still 7 runs between them and victory, but nobody appeared to recognize this fact as important. Mike had got the bowling, and the bowling was not de Vries's. It seemed almost an anticlimax when a 4 to leg and 2 twos through the slips settled the thing. Devonish was caught and bowled in de Vries's next over, but the Wrykyn total was 172. "Good game," said Maclaine, meeting Burgess in the pavilion. "Who was the man who made all the runs? How many, by the way?" 83. It was young Jackson, brother of the other one." "That family! How many more of them are you going to have here?" "He's the last. I say, rough luck on de Vries. He bowled rippingly." Politeness to a beaten foe caused Burgess to change his usual "not bad." "The funny part of it is," continued he, "that young Jackson was only playing as a sub." "You've got a rum idea of what's funny," said Maclaine. End of section.